Picture this, a young 23-year-old male found dead inside of his house. Now, why is this man dead? A 23-year-old should be healthy. After all, he's still so young. But in his apartment, there was an underlying problem. There was found large amounts of performance-enhancing drugs, more commonly known as anabolic steroids. Now, I know most people, male or female, have seen someone and wish they look like them body-wise. Whether it be on social media or in person, we all have this intrusive thoughts that's like, man, I wish I could look like them, but I just don't know how. Now, as a new natural bodybuilder myself, I've experienced jealousy, envy, and comparison when looking at others online. So much so that I've even considered taking PEDs. However, after thoroughly researching the dangers of it and how addicting it can become, I've decided against it. You see, steroid usage in general can be harmful in my opinion, but if taken, it should never be abused at all due to its threatening effects. See, I will be constructing an argument against steroid abuse and why its negative effects aren't worth the muscles and strength, and why I'm speaking about this. Now, my first point is that steroid abuse can cause cosmetic issues, and you might be wondering what type of cosmetic issues. Well, it can cause severe acne, severe scarring, severe yellowing in the eyes. It can also cause your skin to age quicker so you look older. Now, why am I telling you this? Why does this matter? Well, you see, if the whole point of performance-enhancing drugs is to also allow you to perform better and look better, then there's no reason why cosmetic issues should be a thing if it's a cosmetic solution. And that's what people often get confused. They think this is a substance with no drawbacks or no issues at all when it's not. You see, if it causes these issues as well, it's not a perfect drug. In fact, it's not a good drug because it can damage you in ways, damage you cosmetically. And that's my first point, but you see, it gets worse because my second point is that steroids can quite literally kill you. Like I said in the beginning, a 23-year-old male was found dead, and in the autopsy it was found that the cause of death was these drugs within his body. You see, like any other drug, it can become addictive, and addiction can lead to overdosing, and which is obviously a very big issue, which confuses me even more as to why PEDs aren't like, they're not portrayed as a massive drug like all of these other things are. You see, people can overdose on painkillers, people can overdose on harder drugs, but yet people aren't worried about anabolic steroids, even though they can do the exact same thing to people. And people still do it because of the strength and muscle gain, which is a huge problem since they do it and see no drawback since it's portrayed as some super substance on social media. And social media is a huge part of this play in this instance because everybody's using it nowadays. It's so normalized that everybody thinks it's not a problem. Because you see any of your favorite fitness influencers, they're probably using it. You can take The Rock, Chris Hemsworth, they're actors, but it still applies. They claim they're natural and then they're not, and they're spreading this false information towards everybody, causing people to dabble in stuff. Now, I just led myself to my next point, which is it's also not good for people that choose to not use steroids that are natural, because steroid abuse can cause unrealistic standards for natural bodybuilders. Seeing these unrealistic standards can cause naturals to become discouraged and quit the sport altogether. It's really discouraging, and also another possibility is after seeing all of these roided up, as I like to say, individuals on social platforms, these naturals could get the idea that the only way to look great is to take steroids or get hooked on anabolic PEDs, further growing the issue at hand. Now, how do we solve this exactly? Well, to give you the hard, brutal, honest truth, as long as these PDs, anabolic steroids, whatever you want to call them, as long as they're still available and as long as people can get their hands on them, the problem will never stop. The issue will never stop. People are still going to die. People are still going to get their skin ruined. People are still going to be affected by this daily as long as we can get our hands on them. And I know that we can never stop distributing them because they also have health benefits as well for people that aren't using them for bodybuilding purposes. Now, since we can't solve the issue completely, we can also try and stop as many people from taking it as we can. We could reach out to friends or loved ones that may be partaking in it, that may be abusing it too much, and sit them down and have a serious talk. Although it might not help all too much, at least our words will leave a mark on them, maybe. And you see, we could repost reports of death by steroids, striking fear into people, which is a common speech strategy. And we could also share benefits of being natural because there is a ton of health benefits that come with being natural. Now, you see, my conclusion and my summary is that steroids can have harmful effects in general, but depending on the person. However, I don't expect you to listen to me to not take steroids. So if you do choose to take steroids, which I don't recommend, make sure to not abuse them as it can quite literally kill you. And death isn't a risk you want to take just for an attractive aesthetic body. Now, I'll leave you today with a piece of advice. The whole point of working out is to be healthy and look better. And if you abuse steroids, you're only doing half of what working out and bodybuilding truly is. Now, be healthy, please. Be smart. Get fit. And most importantly, don't abuse steroids.